got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine.
Oh, hey everybody. Welcome to the 70th edition of The Countdown with me, JPO, and a friend. Count them down. And you know who that is, which means you know what this is. It's the 17th annual Top 10 TV Shows of the Year. Brandon, how are you?
I remember way back in 2008 when we started this. It's good to be here. I can't believe we've made it so far. You know, we've talked about, you know, all the greats, the Breaking Bad years. We've been through the Game of Thrones years together, the Ally McBeal years together. You know, we've been there. MASH, you know, all the great shows we've talked about. I'm excited to be here.
The controversial year where you voted Honeymooners over Dick Van Dyke, and I was so mad.
Yeah, that Archie Bunker, man. That's the wrong show. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. I was a little nervous.
Played.
I was a little nervous because, like, I feel like I fell off a little bit in the second half of the year because a new show popped up on the block. So I was watching more movies and TV shows, but adding the couple shows onto my list from the first half, and pretty stacked list. So I love my list so far. So even though there's a lot of big bangers I haven't seen, but I'm excited to talk about the good stuff.
Heck yeah, dude. What about your honorable mentions? What's right outside of your 10?
You want to do we'll do blinds at the end? Or like blind spots? Or...
What? Oh, I don't know. The stuff we should discuss off air. I don't know. We'll discuss it now. Whatever.
Yeah. So Penguin we haven't seen Penguin. I think we've seen a couple episodes each. So that hasn't been there. Squid Games just came out. I haven't got there yet. I'm still a little bit behind on Only Murders. Tulsa King I haven't got around yet. And Bad Monkey, surprisingly, have not only seen the first one. I need to get on top of that. But my honorable mentions, got some comedies here.
I gotta do my blind spots.
Oh, of course. Jordan, what are your blind spots?
I gotta finish Bad Monkey. Other than that, I don't know. Continue.
Yeah, so I got some comedies on here. I got Ted, which was on Jordan's list in the previous year, or the half. So I checked it out. Hilarious. There's still some stuff I quote from that. We had a Indian kid here before, but they got him. It's one of my favorite jokes ever. What do you mean they got him? He was a good kid, too. Amazing. Just one of my favorite jokes. Really love that show. Hope it comes back. Tires, another great comedy. The Boys. I never actually finished it, but, you know, I liked what I saw. It just wasn't as hot on it as the previous years. My prime ran out, that's why. The Gentleman, a show that kind of caught me by surprise. Really liked it. It was on my list previously, but got kicked down a little bit. And The Sympathizer on HBO with Robert Downey Jr. giving a great performance, but again, was on my list. Just kind of got knocked down because there's some good stuff that came out this year.
Sympathizer was a TV show?
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 episodes.
What you got number 10?
Number 10 is going to shock a bunch of people because this was like really high up there. It's been my number one multiple times. We're talking The Bear. The Bear, just, again, I will defend this season. Still really, really, really good. Just a down year from its glory. Still solid. Still an amazing television show, but just didn't have that oomph, didn't have that spice, that zest that it's had in previous years. Didn't like the way it ended. It just felt a little slow and lacking. Some episodes felt kind of like, okay, that was cool, but like, why did we need that? They just got a little too big for the britches, I feel like, this season. Hopefully they take it back to basics for the next season. But still, you got amazing performances here. Some amazing, incredible episodes. The episode that talks with Tina and you got John Bernthal coming back is great. Everyone else besides Jeremy Allen White shines in this. Jeremy Allen White, incredible, but his supporting cast shines really, really well this season. Just a little goofy in moments that was like, okay, that character's funny, but do we need that much of them? I feel like they just kind of lost its way a bit. So got knocked down to number 10. Still phenomenal television show, just not quite where it should be and used to be.
No, I feel on that. But mine's kind of a similar story. I think you kind of gave a hint at it before. My number 10 is The Boys, which you mentioned was in your honorable mention. This is another show that I personally had, top 5, maybe even top 3 or 2. I'm not sure, but definitely have had it higher than number 10 normally here. So some good stuff. So some crazy, wacky episodes. I'm at the farm with crazy animals flying around here and whatnot. But it very much felt like, and this is going to be the problem with a couple of the shows that are kind of a little bit later on my list. It very much felt like a mid-season. It very much felt like we're getting to something bigger and better later here. There's reveals of maybe characters returning in next season and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so while it's good, I just don't know if it necessarily moved the needle that much more than, any previous season here. So it's really, really like dark moments too that kind of took me a little out. Like, the show has gone dark before, season 1, he's killing innocent people, but this really got dark at times where, I don't know. I love dark, but sometimes it may be a little too much for me here.
Sure.
Towards a little bit later in my personal taste. So, and I forgot
your honorable?
Yeah, god dang it. My honorables are right outside of my list. I have Tires, the funny Shane Gillis show here. Brief 6-season episode. Looking forward to season 2. Chucky wrapped up, kind of unfortunately, because again, a big cliffhanger on Chucky. It won't get resolved unless it's done maybe in a DVD movie later. Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. This is the return of Rick. So, again, not breaking new ground, but it was fun seeing Rick and Michonne get back together. The reality show Conan O'Brien Must Go. Shout out to Cone Zone. He's always entertaining no matter what he does. And I have Tulsa King. I thought this might make it, but it's just right on the cusp of my list here. Still a really entertaining season, though, with Sylvester Stallone. Giving one of my favorite performances he's ever given. Chris agrees with you, by the way. For 10 is The Bear. What you got number 9?
Well, he won't agree with this one because number 9 is a show called Shoresy, the spin-off of the Canadian sitcom Letterkenny, revolving around the titular hockey player Shoresy, with an S, or a second S, in case you're looking for it. This was a show about a guy who he pops up in Letterkenny as just, you never see him. He's always sitting on a toilet talking shit about other hockey players, and you finally get to see him. And Letterkenny's just a laugh out loud kind of funny nothing sitcom that ran for a couple of years, or a lot of years, in Canada. This show is a show about a guy who really only knows how to do one thing, and that's play hockey. Kind of goonish, where it has some heart to it as well. Really, really good. And it's like he gets hurt, and it's like all he knows is hockey. So what's he supposed to do? And you got some hilarious, funny moments, some good heart to it. It really takes that show. It's a spinoff of a show that had like 17 seasons, and it's better. So it is better than the show that is spinning off, in my opinion. We're getting season 4 coming up in a couple weeks, and they're calling it part 2. It's a completely different story, so I'm excited to see where that goes. But just a good old sports comedy, I love that show so much. So if you want some good sports comedy with some heart into it, and you like sports, or like hockey, like Canadians, Shoresy.
Right on. Coming in at my number 9, we're moving from, I always say we're just going to move from streamer to streamer a lot of the times on this list here, from Prime to back to now Netflix here. Cobra Kai coming in at my number 9 here. One that is split up into different parts. So actually, I didn't realize that it was split up into 3 parts, right? This last part. So when the second part ended, I remember going like, "That's how the show's gonna end," because I thought it was split into 2 parts, and I was like, "It's a really weird way to end the show." But no, so we are obviously getting the conclusion now. Again, some good stuff here. You have all the returning characters that you would like to see here, minus Stingray, no Paul Walter Hauser. Hopefully, we fix that in part 3 rather. But again, it's kind of the boys here. I just again felt like there's more like what was it, the son and the young black kid, like they go back and forth. We're friends, we hate each other. We're friends, we hate each other. Like there's just a lot of just kind of like retread here. We had the same villains like as before too, and I'm like, didn't we defeat this guy? We're back to this guy again. Cool. Like I don't know. I feel like this show went maybe one season too long. Again, for what it is, it's number 9. It's still really good, but it just doesn't pique me as much as it used to. So my number 9 coming in at Cobra Kai. What do you got at number 8?
Yeah, I haven't watched this season yet until I'm kind of waiting because they keep coming up with new parts. They're like part 5 coming out soon. It's like, okay, when it's done, I'll watch it. My number 8, we're going over to Apple TV with Jake Gyllenhaal's Presumed Innocent. This is an amazing courtroom thriller starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Ruth Negga. I don't forget her last name. She's in this. What's his name? The dude from Green Lantern. The guy I hate. He's in this. There's some good people in this. In this, but it's a great courtroom drama. Jake Gyllenhaal is a DA. It's like the head DA who gets his partner gets murdered, and then he gets accused of murdering her, and then just twists and turns. Where you find out like stuff that was going on and stuff that's going on in his relationship with the person who was killed, and relationship with other people he worked with, and relationship with his wife, and it's just lots of twists and turns. Got great performances here from everybody, except for this one guy who I can't stand. They haven't showed him, but I can't stand him in the show. He's just this guy with his mouth open. He never closes his mouth. It's annoying. But besides that, it's an amazing show. And I had it on my list. We'll see where it wrapped up. It wrapped up beautifully. I thought it was great. It's based off of a book, and I've heard they made a couple changes, and it seems like they made some good changes for the right reasons. So yeah, apparently a season 2 is coming, but I think it might be like another story. It might do like they might just do a kind of an anthology kind of deal where it's different people. But yeah, a great show, twists and turns. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice dark thriller, it is dark, very dark. But you know, it has that good courtroom. I watched with my wife, who confirmed that the courtroom stuff was pretty accurate. So that was cool to see. So yeah, it was a good little mini series. Presumed Innocent. Apple TV is crushing it. Gotta read.
I know that took me a second to read. My number 8. Speaking of casts that you won't return, I'm gonna miss them though. I fell asleep through the. We're just watching repeats on DVDs and streamers later, where you'll wake up to na 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 na. Curb Enthusiasm, the final season of Larry David and his shenanigans. Final season, sad to see it go here. The show that's been on for many years. When this was only season 12, it's been on since 2001, I want to say. He continues with him trying to figure out ways to break up with Tracy Ullman here. Some more stuff from Vince Vaughn as a guest star. Other good guest stars pop up, as the show always did. So I thought it was not the tightest season, but still a pretty funny season here. Definitely not the worst either. Even the worst season is still a very rewatchable show for me as well here. So goodbye to Larry, JB Smoove, and all our Curb friends. Even the finale, I thought it was actually pretty well done. The finale has harkens back to a bit of a Seinfeld joke and includes Seinfeld himself. So good season worth checking out. Entire show worth checking out. This is a show I've done, and I'll do this with a lot of shows, but I've repeated it a couple times, and probably will do it again one day. So, and I'll shout out to the late great Richard Lewis too, one of his final appearances on screen. So, what you got at number 7?
Number 7, we're going to Prime Video with one of the better video game adaptations in Fallout. I like this a lot because they take what everyone likes about Fallout, the vibe, the setting, the weirdness, and they just said, you know what, like we're gonna set it in the game, but we're not. We're gonna be like an own story, like it's its own game in the Fallout universe, and I feel like that works really, really well because you're not handcuffed to following any story beats or any characters or like you did this wrong, that doesn't look good. They're just saying, hey, there's this huge sandbox of this Fallout post-apocalyptic world. We're gonna play in it. We're gonna have all the beats you like, and we're gonna have the Brotherhood of Steel. We're gonna have the ghouls. We're gonna have the radiation, the giant rats. We're gonna have all of that. We might have New Vegas coming up, but the story that we were locked into with the game, we're not doing that. We're doing our own little story, and I thought that was great. Great performances by the three main leads. Love the GOG, man. Really, if you know anything about me and Jordan, we're a pro Goggins co-host team. We love Goggins. Always shout out Goggins. I want to buy some. He has a new product called Walton Goggins goggle glasses. It's real. He posted them on Instagram. You can actually buy them. So shout out Walton Goggins. Love you. Fallout. Bam. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Herb. So Chris also with you on number 7. You guys are simpatico twice now. Coming on my number 7. What?
I don't want to be simpatico with him. I'm simpatico with you. You're my co-host.
No, because for my number 7, we're going back to Hulu for Only Murders in the building here. Again, it sounds like we're even getting season 5 now. How many times are these guys going to be around murder? But you know what? As Steve Martin and Martin Sheen, and even Selena Gomez, who I've been surprised by how much I enjoy her as Mabel, I'm fine with it. As long as they keep finding murders, it's fantastic here. They once again surround themselves with a really good guest list cast here. You have, Zach Galifianakis, Eva Longoria, and Eugene Levy playing they're just going for a movie version or a TV show version of these characters here. So they shadow them sometimes. There's Molly Shannon as the person that hires them. You also got some suspicious neighbors across the street, and Kumail Nanjiani, Richard Kind, etc. A little bit more of Jane Lynch, a little bit more of Meryl Streep, although they kind of go off and do other things. So just continually funny. Good time spending with these characters here. Again, I do feel there is tighter seasons, but still a really good show. So number 7 for me was Only Murders. What you got at number 6?
I need to catch up, so I'll get there eventually. Maybe by the time the show ends in season 10. We're going back to Amazon here for one of the best superhero things to come out this year and best superhero things to come out in a long time. We're going with Invincible. Invincible season 2. This show has the worst release schedule. It's like season 1 came out like 5 years ago, and I don't know what season they're on now, but they release like 3 at a time. Then you wait 4 months. It's insane how long they make you wait for this. But when it finally gets going, it's so good. It just really crushes. It's like, it's dark. It has everything. It's weird. It has heart. It has, horrific moments that you see. It really crushes. Like, it's some of the best. Like, he's dealing with his real life, his alter ego versus his superhero character, dealing with his dad, dealing with his mom, dealing with relationships, and it just does such a good job. Double GOG, there's GOG again. So went back-to-back Goggins, so that's always a good thing. Some Glenn from The Walking Dead, some Sandra Oh, some J.K. Simmons sometimes. Great cast of characters. And I really wish they kind of figured out, like, get this show consistently, because it's really, really good. It's just being killed by, like, wait, who are these people? It's been so long, so it's got to get some consistency going just in the release schedule of the show. But when it's going, it's very, very good show.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed what I saw. That's one of those shows I have to catch back up to. But I believe, are we sticking? No, we're going to the Peacock now. I believe in your honorables. It was in my first half of the year. Let's talk Ted here. This is one that I was a little disappointed because there is talk of a Ted 3 for quite a while here. To follow up with the Mark Wahlberg. So like, prequel, okay, I guess. But everyone's in it is just so game here. Really great kid that's playing him. I think he's hilarious. He's really good. What is it even? It's not a sister, like a cousin that lives with them. She's good.
Yeah.
And the parents are fantastic as well here. Shout out to if you're a Seth MacFarlane fan, it's the son from American Dad is playing the dad now in this show, and he's really good. He's an actor that I've enjoyed too. He's on the Orville as well, so I'm glad. Obviously, Seth MacFarlane's a big fan of his. Just each episode that was really funny too. I enjoyed the fact that something interesting about Peacock as well. And this is actually both a good, a positive, and a negative. If they don't have any time limits, like, you know what I mean, like you got to, Family Guy, you had to have a 20-minute, script, and scenes and everything, like in and out. This ran the gamut of 27 minutes, 35 minutes, 36 minutes. There was a couple times where I felt like they were repeating a little too much, and I was like, oh, I kind of wish you did have a handicap, or I wish you were told to edit it a little bit. But there's other times where I love the fact that they could kind of have this free flowing episode. So it's both a positive and a negative here. But for the most part, like I said, every episode made me laugh. Every episode had something going for it here. Fun depiction here. But sad Ralph Garman didn't get to reprise it. Ralph Garman and Alex Borstein are the parents in the movie. And they didn't get a chance to be the parents here, but they put two really good actors to replace them. So what do you got? We're in the top half now. Number 5, Brendan.
All right. Number 5, a little bit of a drop for this one. I think I had it maybe number 1. The most horrific show, the darkest show that I've watched this year. Some funny times, some amazing performances. Going Baby Reindeer. This show fucked me up. This is some of the most brave writing, acting, producing I've ever seen. Him telling his story. I'm glad he's getting some award love end of the year. So it's great to see that the two leads in this are going to be killing it on this award season. But yeah, it's so good. It's so hard to watch that sometimes my wife had to stop watching it at a certain point, and I had to kind of just take over by myself. It took me a while to finish it, but it really is great. It's a true story, which makes it even scarier. It's like, because like, what do you do? Like, she's not breaking the law, but she like is. It's like it's just so. It's so tricky, and yeah, like there's some things that like most people wouldn't even tell anybody, but he tells the whole world. In his comedy, in his specials, in his art, and now in this TV show. So shout out to him, doing an amazing job. And yeah, it's an insane TV show. Not for everybody, but if you're willing to be uncomfortable, highly recommend.
Baby Reindeer. Coming to my number 5, we're going back to Amazon Prime, and we're going back to your number 7. I got Fallout coming in at my number 5 here. Yeah, I have no attach to the video games. I played maybe 3 for a little bit, but that was years ago, and so I've never.
Sorry, we have crazy fires.
Let me know if you gotta run away.
I don't think this is me, but we're close.
We'll figure out.
No, we're good.
Oh no.
We're good. We're evacuation notice for like a mile down the road. So I think we're okay right now, but
oh my god. Well, let me hurry up and get this good show going then.
Might be living Fallout for real. Do you want to come stay with you?
If you can get to Florida, I have a 1-bedroom. So it's gonna be tight with you and your wife, and if you get and that dog, and I love the world they built here, and Fallout here. It's a really interesting world of both the underground bunkers and, of course, this whatever's going on above it here. Lead actress, going above for the first time. She's kind of been secluded to this small world underneath here. Shout out to Zach Sherry, who's also excited for Severance returning finally. Maybe Severance is something we'll talk about, in 6 months. Walton Goggins, fantastic. And what's great about Walton Goggins is this is kind of the perfect show. If you, for some reason, aren't a Goggins fan like us, this is the perfect show to see because he gets to run the gamut. The first time you meet him, he is the Google. He is a guy that will kill you to, get his, whatever, the info he needs or the treat he needs. And then later on, you see the pre-apocalypse where he's just a good dad. He's just a good dude, and that's what I love about any good actor is you literally fear him in episode 1, and then you are like rooting for him in like episode 3 or whatever, So he's good. It's a great character. It's a fun world building here. Can't wait to return. This is definitely something that we're gonna go back to in season 2 whenever they can plop that out for us. So good stuff. Fallout season 1. What you got at number 4?
Number 4, we're going back to Apple TV with a show. Probably my no, never mind. I was going to say something, but that's not true. We'll talk about that show later on. Slow Horses, an amazing spy CIA, but in England thriller, starring Gary Oldman, who's incredible. He's completely transforms into this role, and they've had like 4 or 5 seasons of the show so far. My only gripe is that they kind of blend together because they have like 4 of them. They shoot them back to back. Like, so at the end of the season, it says next season on, and they already have like a trailer for next season. So they shoot them back to back. So they kind of pump them out so quick in only like 6 episodes. So they kind of, blends together. But these cast of characters are, just, if you're not sure what this show is, Slow Horses or Slough House is where MI6 or MI5, whatever it is, sends all of the reject agents. They don't want to fire them, so they send them to this Slough House. They call them Slow Horses. And you got what's his name, Hugo Weaving, showing up this season, doing a great job there. Gary Oldman always crushing it. Forgot the name of the main actor as River Cartwright. He's amazing, always getting to hijinks as well. So it's just a fun, twisty, turny. She's amazing. Kristen Scott Thomas is good. It's just everyone is like just at the top of their game in this show. So if you're looking for a fun, twisty, turny, government spy thriller, highly recommend Slow Horses. Chris mentioned it as number 9.
Yeah, mentioned number 9. Coming in at my number 4. Oh, wait, did I click on the spoilers already? Whoops. Because this is your list. This is my list. Baby Reindeer comes in at my number 4 here. Show that you had just previously mentioned a couple rounds ago. Yeah, this show is crazy. This show will hit you whether you can relate or not. I think there's some things that you can do. There's other things that hopefully you can't. And that's all I can say. Yeah, and you feel for the dude. You also wonder about the dude. It is just continually engaging. What you just think episode 1 is, it will not necessarily go the way you think it will. I can almost promise you that. The 2 leads are fantastic. His new girlfriend later on, I think, gave a great performance as well. Yeah, this is just a really interesting, kind of right timed show as well, with some of the themes that are going on in here. And yeah, I love the fact that these 2 are getting lots of love. I mean, Golden Globes, I believe they both won. So literally getting their just dues here. So I saw it too. I think I was watching the trailer from the creators of End of the Fucking World, which, yeah, also a great show from a few years back on Netflix. If you've ever seen that, check that out as well. So that tracks about really like messed up characters that kind of find each other in a way. So yeah, Baby Reindeer, great stuff. What you got at number 3?
Number 1,
Spider-Man
of all time. But my number 3 show, X-Men 97. This shit rips. This shit rocks. It's not only a good continuation, it has some of the best. I mean, I put it over Invincible. It is the best thing we got this year in terms of superheroes, in terms of, we got everybody finally living up to what they should be. It's that we finally get MCU kind of Cyclops finally being a leader. You got some great stuff with Jean Grey in here. You got some just amazing storylines that you just can't get in live action. That's why I love when they get these animated series that are done well, because you get some of these stories that just can't really be told in live action, and it lets lets everything breathe, and just everything is great. Some shocking moments here. Can't wait to see what they do with here, but it's really good at nostalgia. But even if you haven't watched it, like I rewatched the X-Men 96 series recently. Before this, I didn't really have that much remembrance of it. It's just as good. Like it's just as good, if not better, at certain times. So hopefully they keep this going. And they're going to, but there's some controversy with Beau DeMaio, the creator, getting fired like the day it came out. So that's kind of scary. So hopefully when it comes back, it still has that same feel, that same fire. So X-Men 97, I'm sure we'll talk about it in a minute.
Don't assume that we'll talk about it in a minute, because I meant to click. Damn it! I had such a good transition. Because we're talking about it right now. We are simpatico
Hey.
on X-Men 97 coming in at number 3 here. I think I might have even had it. I believe number 1 early in the year, but that's no notch. These are very hard to rank. You could ask me tomorrow. I might move this back to number 1. Yeah, I growing up, I feel like I was a very, very in a great way spoiled kid because I grew up on Batman the Animated Series, X-Men. Now before it was 97, it was just in 97. Spider-Man, which I still think are 3 of the best superhero cartoon shows of all time. Like, and I'm not playing nostalgia factor. I'm not playing because it's my show. Nothing has lived up to it. You know what I mean? Like, X-Men Evolution was cool, but a little more kiddie. Wolverine and the X-Men's cool, but like just still not as good. I also enjoyed the animation style. I'm glad that they kept it. They glossed it up a little bit here, but not too much, where it still 100% has the heart of the original series here. You get to revisit the characters here. I just love it. I love the fact too. Like, I've always hated like any superhero show that like dumbs it down for kids, because I was like, I grew up where you didn't have to dumb it down. This can still be relatively for kids. I mean, maybe not 5, but like I'd say 6, 7 and above. Like you can get into it. So I love it. I was so excited for it here. Great stuff. Let's do it now with Spider-Man. What do you got at number 2?
My number 2 is a lot of people's number 1, but there's a show at number 1 that I can't quite top. But my number 2 is a show that was my blind spot in the first half. Finally got to it. It's Shogun. This show is just absolutely incredible. A little tough watch in the beginning because there's some brutal stuff, but it's just an amazing, dark, just I don't want to say commentary, but just showing, just showing like how Japan is such a beautiful, amazing country, but some of their traditions are just so dark and messed up. How they view death, like if you just disobey your master, you deserve to die, and just the way. And so just seeing, there's a Englishman that finds his way in Japan, and you get to see him kind of navigate this world that's so foreign to him, and seeing these traditions that are so just normal to everybody. Like, yeah, commit seppuku, and he's like, no, like, what are you talking about? And just seeing that, you got some amazing performances. Shout out 3 people won Golden Globes the other night. Hiroyuki Sanada. I forgot the actress right there who plays the interpreter. She's absolutely incredible in this. You got some amazing action in this, but really it's just he's one of my favorite actors in the show. He just won Best Supporting Actor as well. You got some amazing dark, you got some amazing combat in this as well. But if you're looking forward to this being like a like an action, samurai Ghost of Tsushima style action, that's not what you're going to get. You get that Game of Thrones politics. You get the, politicking back and forth from different houses, different factions. You get all of that. And it's just so well done. It's gorgeous. It's so well acted, so tightly written. I think they're coming back for season 2, which it kind of wraps up a bit, but I guess they could make room for it. I hope they don't kind of just like, or coming back for season 2, we'll find something. But if there's still seems like there's still a story to tell, so we'll see where it goes. But yeah, this is just incredible stuff.
More of a Leroy Shogun fan. My number 2 going to Netflix here. I think I'll be the only one to talk about it tonight. We're back to playing the games, baby. Squid Game has finally returned. Boy, I've been waiting for this season 2 ever since season 1 wrapped up. Been very itchy for it here. I think it pretty much delivers here. We return to the games here. The main character, spoilers from the first season, is back. He transfers himself back in, and now he's kind of trying to lead them in a way here, though. But it did take a couple episodes to build to that, but the trailer shows, obviously, that he gets the games. You're trying to figure out what's going on with these games, who's in charge. There's, again, some really fun twists and turns, couple of things that we go, ooh. Good character building as well. I think they give you several people that you were kind of rooting for pretty early on. That, again, just add to the hero of when the games finally come to play. Some good villains as well to watch out for. Again, it's really, really well made, really engaging here. Again, watch out, though, because like a lot of TV show and movies lately, come back for next season because the games are still not quite done yet, my friend. What do you got at number 1?
My number 1 is not What We Do in the Shadows, but I forgot to talk about it, so shout out. Love that show. Miss you forever. But my number 1, and every episode, every time this show ends, I look at my wife, wipe the tears from her eyes, either from crying sad or crying laughing, because the show does both to you. Jordan's already typing. This is the best show on TV. I love this. There's another show this creator does that I might like even more. But number 1 is just Shrinking. You know, we're Bill Lawrence guys through and through, even though either of us have finished Bad Monkey. But besides that, we're Bill Lawrence guys through and through. This show is just absolutely, absolutely perfection. I think Chris Diaz is about to agree with us in a second once he writes his novel in his next comment section. But yeah, everybody here, this show does everything. It will in the course of like 5 minutes. Every time an episode wraps up nicely, my wife and I look at each other. We're like, "Oh God, they're about to kill us, aren't they?" Like every time something good happens, they rip your heart out. It's heartbreaking. It's funny. It's so funny. Every character is hilarious in this. This is Harrison. I'm saying this right now. Look at the camera. This is Harrison Ford's best performance of his entire career, and will go down as his best performance of his entire career. And they need to celebrate him because he is so good in this, as he's dealing with Parkinson's. He's being that grumpy old man, but he has heart as well. He cares about his family. He cares about his friends. He's dealing with this horrible illness as well. All the side characters, they let everyone shine even more and more and more in this. Shout out Brian. Brian's great in this. The daughter's great in this. It's just everything you could ask for in a show. You know, it makes you happy, makes you sad, makes you angry, makes you confused, makes you scared. It has just every emotion that one could ask for. And Jason Segel, he just carries it on his back like a fucking champion. Like he is Jimmy. He doesn't like when I was watching Bad Monkey, I was like, it's fun. It's Vince Vaughn, Vince Vaughning around. Like, no, this is like Jason Segel is this character. He's doing like you really can see the pain in his eyes, the love he has for his friends and family, and it's just every episode. I cannot wait, and I just can't wait for season 3 to come back. Hopefully, they don't Ted Lasso it like I'm hearing they might be, where it's 3 and basically out. I'm hoping not, because there's a lot of story to tell here. There was a cameo in this season that kind of threw me off for a bit, but then even then, like I was like, oh, that character that I thought I knew, now I'm seeing him as this character on this screen, and it's just I can rant for days about the show. Everybody needs to watch it.
No, it's not the good stuff. It makes me want to go, and I gotta finish that season right now. I have a whole season behind, so the joy has yet to come to me. My number 1, though. Hey, you kind of mentioned it real briefly just now.
Oh,
what was in the shadows?
Yeah, I totally forgot. It was on my list.
I'll admit it might be a little bit of a goodbye pick here for me here, but I've absolutely loved hanging out with our favorite vampire friends for the last 6 seasons here. The movie was one that I really enjoyed, and even the movie I slept on and then heard good things. Finally watched it, loved it. The show, I don't think I slept on, but like I kind of gave it like, all right, let's see. Great new characters they introduced here. I gotta also give it out to not only vampires but Colin Robinson. His kind of was it just soul sucking vampire where he's just
energy vampire.
Energy, there you go. Kills you with boredom. It's fantastic here. You might notice him from he was like a frequent Office guy back in the day. From The Office. Kristen Shaw gets a little bit more to do in this season. And Harvey Guillén, this is great for his character, him and Nandor. I love the finale. The finale leaves you happy, but it definitely stays true to the show as well. Finales are very important. And I think they actually do a really good job with their finale on a personal level. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. Good last season. Steve Coogan pops up as the father, one of the characters here. He has a good episode. It's a really good, fun season here. So go back if for some reason you slept on the show. Go back, watch all of it, enjoy it from beginning to end. It's good stuff. What we do in the shadows.
Matt Berry's the GOAT.
Yeah, everyone's so good here. I want to see more stuff from Matt Berry, Nandor. Matt Berry shows up in Fallout briefly. Michael Urie from Shrinking. Brandon, you want to go over that list one more time?
Yeah, we got The Bear. Good season, not the best season. Still a great show. Shoresy, amazing hockey show, spinoff of Letterkenny that has more to say and more to do than Letterkenny does. Not just a bit comedy. It has a lot more to it. Presumed Innocent, amazing courtroom drama starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Fallout, again, another incredible video game adaptation that doesn't bog itself down by staying true. It stays true to the world, but not true to any specific game, which I think helps it. Invincible stays true to the comic book and is therefore incredible because of it. Just needs to figure out that stupid release schedule. Baby Reindeer, the most awkward, hard-to-watch show on TV, but it really is worth it. Slow Horses, a slow burn of a spy show with the great Gary Oldman giving a gross performance. Agatha was fine. I don't think that show was meant for me. X-Men 97, I think was meant for me and for Jordan because it's really, really fucking good and it's awesome and it's badass, but not as awesome as badass as Shogun, which is super awesome and badass. And Japan I love it, but I would never want to live there back then because it is scary and I would probably have to cut my guts out and I don't want to do that. And then finally, Shrinking. It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT, man. It's the best show on TV. Can't wait to FaceTime Jordan in a couple weeks when he watches it and be like, I know, man. He's like, oh, I was like, I know, man. He's like, oh my God, it's okay, Jordan. I can comfort him and hold him and kiss him. What?
Checking on my list here. Not going over to Letterboxd. They still got to do their TV section. We're going to Track.tv. You'll see some honorable mentions as well. Coming in my number 10, The Boys. Number 9, Cobra Kai. Number 8, Curb Enthusiasm. Number 7, Only Murders in the Building. Number 6, Ted. Number 5, Fallout. Number 4, Baby Reindeer. Number 3, X-Men 97. Number 2, Squid Game. And number 1 was What We Do in the Shadows. Sad to see, let's see, some RIPs. We got Shadows is gone. Obviously, we had some ones that were just one seasoners, like Baby Reindeer. Chucky, unfortunately, is gone.
Cobra next season. Boys next season.
Yeah, that's gonna be a sad time. Yeah, losing those within the same time frame as well, man. So, Brandon, my man, my friend, my confidant, plugs, parting words.
Plugs. You see it right here. Long time, first time. The reason I don't watch much TV, the reason I have to leave right now to go watch a movie because I've watched 0 this week. Is a show where Jordan and I watch stuff, talk about it. You guys come on. Talk about it. Have a good old time. So come on, do that. Lights Out Trivia tomorrow at 8. We are gonna talk about Chad. You're gonna give me the scouting report on Chad in a second when we get off air. Facing Chad. JPO is facing Steve Mesa on Thursday. So watch those matches. We're gonna the Hollywood Butt Lickers. We're gonna face them and defend our titles eventually. I have a new show premiering called Branderdy, which is a weird movie Jeopardy coming out. I haven't talked to Jordan about this at all, but it's coming soon. I just started writing it a couple days ago, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you look at Jordan's Facebook to find out who's going to be America's next top Florida professional wrestler. Jordan, can we get a preview? Who's number 30 for tomorrow? Can we get a little sneak peek? Or not 30, whatever number we're on.
Let's see here. Let me pull up my doc. I haven't made the graphic yet. Let's see. Yeah, it would be number 30. Let's just say it's a female.
Ooh, Charlotte Flair. Congratulations.
Yeah. She was born probably in Tampa or something, so yeah, she counts.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, I'm happy to watch more TV. I might not be on the show next year because I'm watching a lot of movies and reading books for some stupid reason. So top 5 books of the year coming up next year. Jordan, get on.
I gotta read books too. No.
It's too much content. Too much stuff.
I know, man. Hey, and I'm trying to juggle wrestling and also kind of having a life. Like, come on, Yes. This is the main channel right here, the Pierce Go. We got our brother side, the other side I run, Pierce Wrestling. Check that out here. Check out Real Pro Wrestling. I run that YouTube as well as a couple of defunct YouTubes. I run a lot. So, Brandon, don't be shy. We love you more than you'll ever know. And if you don't like the show Shrinking, then you're...
Wrong.